The LG G6 will be made official at the end of this month, and so we thought it would be a good time to reflect on last year's LG G5. LG did a lot of things right with the G5, but it also did several questionable things. The first of which being the modularity. The G5 was the first modular smartphone LG produced. There's a button on the bottom right-hand side of the phone that, when pressed, will eject the bottom portion of the phone, revealing the battery. This gives you the ability to attach various mods to the phone, such as a camera grip with a shutter button and a hi-fi plug module that improves the audio experience via headphones. Okay, sure, they're cool, but that's about all the modules available, and they don't add very much to the overall experience. In fact, one could argue that they are more trouble than they are worth, as each time you pop out the bottom of the phone, the battery is unplugged and you have to restart the phone. Also, they are pretty darn expensive. It's safe to say they are nowhere near as easy to use as Moto mods, but we can still appreciate LG for experimenting and being one of the first manufacturers to incorporate a modular design in its flagship. The overall build of the G5 is good. I enjoy the metal build construction and slim form factor, though it could be a little bit more polished. For example, the sides can be a bit sharp on the edges, and the bottom portion of the phone where the tray slides in appears to be warped a little bit, which was how it came out of the box. It didn't just magically appear that way. Samsung and Apple, and I would even say HTC, they have really polished the design of their smartphones. I think LG needs to step it up a little bit in this department. The display is fantastic though. The 5.3-inch size is a sweet spot for me. And while I would prefer an AMOLED panel, the LCD panel in this unit is top-notch. Contrast and viewing angles are great. Another area that I have really enjoyed over previous LG phones is the software. LG completely overhauled the software on the LG G5, and it's certainly for the better. Yeah, there's no app drawer out of the box, and there's still a very noticeable LG skin on top of Android Marshmallow, but it runs buttery smooth. It's much more responsive than previous LG skins. Also, the Snapdragon 820 CPU and 4GB of RAM are still very much relevant and on par with phones packing the 821 chipset with 4 or even 6GB of RAM. As for the cameras, yes, I say cameras because there are 2 camera sensors here. I have had a lot of fun using the wide-angle sensor in particular on this smartphone, and everyone I've talked to who has a G5 really enjoys it as well. It's definitely one of its defining features. Now, at the time, the 8-megapixel f2.4 sensor wasn't particularly great. I mean, it was only a year ago and not much has changed in the smartphone camera department. My hope is that LG includes a wide-angle sensor on the G6, which is looking to be the case, but I hope they up the resolution and lower the aperture to the f2.0 and lower range. That would drastically improve its low light performance and sharpness, thus allowing for even more beautiful landscape images. The 16-megapixel main shooter, in my opinion, is just fine. I mean, sure, they might be able to add and improve it ever so slightly, and I'm totally fine with that, but I hope most of their focus is on improving the wide-angle sensor. I mean, that's what really separates the latest LG phones from the competition, is that wide-angle sensor. If we jump to speaker quality, I will say speaker quality is subpar. The bottom-facing speaker grill doesn't produce a very rich or loud sound, and it does get blocked by my hand on occasion when holding the device. Front-facing speakers would be ideal. Also, battery life could always be improved, so the G5 was one of the only flagship smartphones of 2016 that lets you remove the battery and install a fresh one. It used to be a common feature we'd see in almost every flagship, but not as of late. It was a highly anticipated feature amongst the Android diehards who lashed out at Samsung and HTC for removing the microSD card slot in their phones a couple of years ago. I think it's the same crowd who gets upset with smartphone manufacturers nowadays who refuse to support the removable battery feature in their flagships. I think some users really enjoy the removable battery component, but the vast majority of users probably don't take advantage of it, nor do they take advantage of the mods. Personally, I'm not too picky. I just would like a larger battery in whatever form, sealed or unsealed. The 2800 milliamp hour battery just doesn't do it for me. It's definitely one of the smallest batteries we've seen in the flagship in 2016. So overall, I love to see LG innovate and experiment. In the case of the G5, they were mostly experimentations and not innovations. By far the biggest experiment was the modular functionality, and 1 year later, it doesn't look very good. I mean, there were some other smaller, dare I say, innovations with the software optimization and wide-angle sensor, But the wide-angle sensor was first introduced with the LG V20, so that's not particularly new. The software optimization is night and day better than it was with the LG G4, but it's still not exactly great, and it's not up to par with pure stock Android, which is ideal in my opinion. You can find that pure buttery smooth experience by purchasing a Pixel phone. I mean, it's tough for LG and others to compete against the two dominating forces in the smartphone market, being the iPhone and the Galaxy line. But at the same time, that's what makes it fun for me as a reviewer and consumer who gets to use the phones that may not get all the fame and glory, but have their own unique set of traits that help separate them from the competition. So I have enjoyed the LG G5 in that regard, testing the modularity functionality and software in particular. So I look forward to the LG G6. I welcome it with an open mind, and I hope for the best. I hope that LG's experiments become long-lasting innovations. Only time will tell. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new. I do want to note that while my unit has not received a Nougat over the air, when it does, I'll be sure to make a video highlighting its new features. I'm QHD from PhoneDiag.com. I will see you in the next one. See ya.